What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're now watching Kinetic Outcome, and we are now with Vishal, one of the expert veterans in the industry of F&B in terms of operations. So, a little bit of introduction of yourself.
Hey guys, this is Vishal. I'm working Terrible Baby right now. I'm working together with the Eat in Hong Kong, and me and Hector, we know each other for like a couple of years now, give or take like 10, bro, right now. So we came across a place called Fly, which used to be under Buzz Concepts, and we worked together. He used to be an MC, and I used to be a manager. So basically, yes, been in this industry for the past like almost like 20 years now, working in different outlets, different venues, some restaurants, bars, like most happening clubs in the Lang Pui Fong areas and even Wan Chai. So at the end, yeah, you can find me here, Terrible Baby now, which is like more like laid down, more easygoing, and it's a fun place as well.
You forgot one word.
Which one?
They have a very, listen to me, very sexy balcony. So you gotta show up here.
Yeah, we do have
Plus
a very
shisha.
nice balcony.
Couple
Shisha
of
as well.
drinks.
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
They got some tea, so we're upselling now. So if you come, then I get commission, right? I'm just kidding. Yeah, so next question is, how did you get to where you are? Because you told me before you weren't really here, right? In terms of like F&B, you were somewhere else.
The first time when I came to Hong Kong, the first thing was like, I never had any ambition or goal saying like, I'm gonna be in this industry. I never had that go for it thing, this is something which suddenly happened to me. Actually, to be honest, I was working for Disneyland before. And I was doing the interior designing with the concept. I quite don't remember the name because it's a long way back. So, and then back in those days, and that was the first time when SARS, S-A-R-S, remember that disease, it hit Hong Kong. So there were a lot of people who got unemployed. So we kind of lost our jobs back in those days as well. So we were like jamming in churches. We were helping like people in the churches, etc. And then slowly and steadily, one of my friends, he invited me to do like a part-timer in a bar in Wan Chai. And it's a long story, and I can cut it short. I worked as a junior barback, and that was a part-time, bro. It's not even a full-time. So started growing up from that phase until where I am now. And then, to be honest, I realized it's just not the word itself, which is like saturated to itself, saying food and beverage. But if you go deeper, it's like, you know, if you really want to study wine or cigar, the more you learn, it gets deeper and deeper, it gets more interesting. So this industry itself is not saturated to just food and beverage. There's so many departments that you can, you know, do so many things. And basically, knowledge is power. So you keep learning. So you know, every time if you learn something, it's for you. So if you don't saturate yourself saying, okay, this is my saturation point or whatever, I've hit the goal, I think that's wrong for me, you know, because when it comes to learning, I think there's no point as such way you can reach that point. Every day you're learning something. It could be yourself or even your juniors. I mean, I couldn't always say I'm right. You know, I couldn't be that person because there is this gap where the kids now, the new generation, they have new ideas. So it's all about learning and, you know, like sharing each other's experience. That is how I landed up in this industry.
Okay. Good question that just popped in my head is, what makes a really, really great operations manager, in your opinion? Like, what standards should be hit, in your point of view?
Talking about standards, even before going to standard, the first thing, if you just talk about yourself being a good manager, and not even an operations manager, or even a human, you know, for me, if it's only about operations, well, bro, the thing is like I told you just now, I worked as a junior barback, and that too as a part-time. So it's like, you know, it's like a schooling thing. If you go to kindergarten, then you start A, B, C until Z, and then you know how the alphabets, and then you know how to learn words, and then you speak up any language that you're learning. So it's all about the process, that it's like molding yourself, you know. Straight away, if I work for a few years in this industry, I cannot take a shortcut. So if I am really dedicated to what I'm doing, and it's also all about the interest that you have for the industry and the work that you do and the effort that you put in, and it's all about, you know, the experience. Because for me, being a manager, I need to understand that if I delegate something to my staff, I need to know what the process is and how things start and things end, you know. So in terms of, you know, delegating people, in terms of managing the place, I think if I'm the person who's in charge of that place, I should be knowing, everything like it's like the back of my hand. So that comes with experience and that comes with learning. It's not just that, I go to a school or bartending school or, managerial school and I learn there, like it's all theory. But for me, what I feel is like people, they have this tendency to split this industry into like street side or the hotel side, the higher side, the lower side. It's nothing like that. It's all about the experience. And to be honest, I've worked in like a lot of street side like outlets as well. So it's all about experience. Actually, for me, it's been a more learning point and to be where I am today, because I've went through those phases in my life where I should, and I did handle those kind of issues, operational issues, customers, good ones, bad ones. So, at the end of the day, to just sum it up, it's all about your experience of how much you've learned in the past before who you are right now. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get the punchline there, but it does make sense. And I guess to end and continue from where you stopped is, what advice would you give to people who would aspire to become someone like you?
Just just do what you're doing. Just keep asking a lot of questions, because I never stopped asking questions until to this day. It's not that I ask questions to myself right over here, right? But even to my subordinates, even to my supervisors or my junior bartenders, or be anyone, even my security guys, there's always something to learn from them. I don't restrict myself from learning, saying like, oh, I'm in a higher position, I have that ego, I have that arrogance of not going down to these people and talk to them, saying like, am I gonna be a small person if I'm gonna ask something? If you have that ego, as big as a dinosaur, and you're never gonna learn anything. So for me, what I've done is, and I'm still doing it, and I don't mind doing it again and again, I go to my staff, I talk to them, I try to learn a lot of things, because it's a new technology and it's a new era, bro. So we have done that. We laid down the basic foundations to what is supposed to be done, and now it's the generation who's picking it up. So for me, even to this day, I wouldn't mind. I would just want flinch to go down to my staff saying, hey, can you teach me that? It was awesome. It's just not the bond, it's also the respect that you give and take each other. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past, and I'm gonna do it until the end of wherever it is.
Yeah, I think what we're digging down here is the mindset of, unfortunately, a lot, where once they get to the managerial position, they just feel that I should keep this image up and I should know everything. I should ask questions.
Basically,
I'm the best.
No, basically, it's not a lot of people, but there are a few people like.
From my experience,
I have seen people.
Yeah.
I mean, we are contemporaries, and we grew up together to be friends, colleagues, and competitors at the end of the day. But I've seen a lot of people who are, power tripping.
Yeah.
I don't know how to just justify that or put it into words, but I rather keep it simple, saying power tripping,
You must respect me.
Once they get to that position, I mean, dude, come on. Respect is, you earn it. You cannot damn, you gotta respect me. That's not gonna work, bro. So even to this day, even if I go down to my security or even go to my car park over here, they just wave at me. And I wave it back at them, It's it's mutual. If I was that arrogant guy, they wouldn't give it how hell with this guy, something like that. But if you have that connection, if you have the loyalty and, being down to earth, being nice to everyone, that's it. Just wave at them. They're going to wave back at you. You give them respect, you will earn it back.
Well, for what I've been studying, right, getting more into the spiritual realm sort of phase, we're connected to everybody. And for example, if there are people that chose to be a janitor or clean the rubbish in the streets, that's either what they chose to become, right? But without them, they won't be contributing to that side of the society. Yeah. But we need them as much as they need us. So it's like you are here handling operations, but you need the dishwasher or the one that washes the cups as much as everybody else, right? So everyone's still at that same level of respect.
Exactly.
I think that's required. And other than that, I learned this is very interesting. For some reason, a lot of us would go to a restaurant or a bar and wait for great service and then we tip them. But why don't we do it the other way around? Why don't we look for somebody and tip them first and tell them take care of us? Then we ensure the service. What's your opinion on that? I just learned that recently.
This actually, you know what? This is a very interesting question, Hector. I've always thought about this one. So even the word itself, the TIPs, to incorporate prompt service, the full form of the word, I've always had this, like dispute inside my mind mentally. So if someone was to tip you in the front, up front, before the service, then after? That's a very thin line, bro. For me personally, this is actually, like I told you, it's a very reasonable question and it's a very interesting question. For me, if I get a tip after a service, means it's justified that I deserve it because I've done my job and I've done my job pretty well and I've impressed the people. And that's my reward. I take it as a reward. But if someone comes up to me and hey, bro, that's for you, take care of me. It's kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it's like a bribe to me, I take it as a bribe. It's like, hey guys, you gotta take care of me, all right? So that doesn't justify me because at the end, what happens if everything goes the other way around? I spill the wine or I even spill the tea on top of him or her. If they are having a nice date, hey bro, I have a date today, you gotta make sure that I have gonna be an awesome night. So if I mess it up, those are the possibilities that might happen. So it's all about the tipping when it comes to to incorporate prompt service or whatever that thing is. There's a lot of this, how do I put that word, bro?
A lot of case-by-case basis, if that makes sense.
Yeah, something like that, bro. For me, I think I'd rather choose to get a tip at the end of the service where I would take it as a reward than at the start of the service, which I feel it's one-sided thing. It's bribing or something. It's not a bribe, but actually it's like my own concept. I think it that way. So I rather choose it to be at the end of the service. I would love to be rewarded.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's another interesting point of view. So both cannot be wrong or right.
Yeah.
But that's his.
It's a very interesting question, like I said, bro.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
And not to put the ego up front, but what makes you unique compared to a lot of other people who are in your role?
I work hard. I work very hard. All I want is staff, whoever's working with me, whenever you are here, just give me 100%. If you have issues, you're always free and welcome to come and discuss with me. I'm not gonna bite you, I'm not gonna slam you, because in the first place, I'm a human as well, and I need to respect you as another person. So everyone has issues. There's no one in this world who doesn't have issues. So always, right from the beginning until this day, I tell my staff, if you have problems at home, everyone does, and you have problems at work, which everyone does, try to maintain your professional and personal life. If you have issues at home, when you come to work, leave it there at the door when you clock in. When you clock inside, you come as a different person. You come as a professional. And when you go home, you have your problems at work, leave it at the door. Don't take it back with you, back to your house, because if you mix it up, it's not good for you, personally and professionally. So when you come to work, be a professional. And all I ask is for 10 hours of complete professionalism, nothing else. I don't want your time, I don't want your breakfast, your lunch, dinner, I just want your professionalism. That's how we hire you. That's what we go through all those painful, conditions, terms like interviews, casuals, etc., second interviews, third interview, probation of 1 week, probation 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So we go through all those painful, thing, and at the end we hire you as a full-time. So listen to yourself. If you have issues, keep talking, keep asking a lot of questions. Just be more, just talk to people. even if it's your father or even if it's a manager, whoever, if you guys have a problem, the only way it's going to help is by talking. You cannot put it inside your head and think of it, take it from your heart, you know. If you want to solve something, bring it out, put it in the table. We have a problem, let's fix it. Very simple.
Yeah. Well, talking about it is best, I guess.
No, the only
Takes
way.
time, right?
The only way to solve problems, bro, is to talk. I mean, if you keep it to yourself, or the other person, if you keep it to himself or herself, we can read minds, bro. We can read people's minds.
You mean potential conflicts as well in the office?
Exactly. So,
or in your case, in the bar.
Yeah, that's why, you know, every time during meetings and briefings, we give them the opportunity, like open communication. Just communicate. If you have issues, just come up to me. But for me, it works easy because I've worked with a lot of people, and I tend to, like, you know, be a part of a team, always working like hand to hand. I know when the people or even my staff, they feel down, so I can just go up to them. I always ask them, hey, I know something's bothering you, because it's not that I'm saying that I can read people, but the body language, you know, you can feel the person, the presence of the person, 100% or whatever. Sometimes like medical issues, like families, sometimes girlfriend issues. So I just go up to them, talk. That's the only remedy, solution. You cannot fight a war. You cannot win a battle. You need to talk as two mature people. That's how to, I mean, for me, it has always worked. And I don't think there's any other, you know, alternative to solve any issues. Just sitting down, two different people, two mature people sitting down on a table, discussing the issues and solving it.
Communication.
Big time. Open communication, bro.
Okay.
Very simple.
And next question is there anyone that you look up to? Could be anybody.
Ah, there was this guy, his name was Ash. It's almost like 20 years I haven't seen him. He's in UK now. And he was my mentor. He was my mentor, and he was the guy who taught me how to work, how to do things. And I haven't seen him for like almost 10 years now, 10 to 11 years. He was the only guy in this industry.
Still in touch?
Yeah, still in touch. But yeah, social media, Facebook, yeah.
Okay, well, next time you see this video out, then we're giving him a shout out. So we're passing this video to him. What's up, Ash? Yeah, and this one, I'm not sure if you went through it. Not everybody does, but when you switched from your previous profession to this, did you have any people that were worried or just giving you the care, but at the same time they weren't so supportive? You know, because people are not really good with sudden change, right? Sometimes they might come off as they're not supportive, or maybe you did have people that don't support you.
At the end of the day, Hector, somewhere down the line, it's not the people who will choose to decide. I mean, this was my choice initially, and it was enough for me. Back in those days, what I was doing, I mean, it was not bad at all, but I thought to myself, like, I think I should take a break from this one. And then I switched to something different like this, more like subdued. Like, it's not too loud over here. You know what I mean? It's a very peaceful life. It's not too loud. It's very nice. Like you just said earlier, we have a nice terrace, we have shishas, we have nice cocktails. So it's another step, you know. If I'm to break it down, when I was young, I used to listen to all this music like metal, rock, thrash. You know, the genres used to keep changing. And then slowly, when I get more matured, I stepped down to like soft rock, like not too hardcore. And now it's like unplugged, you know. So I think that's this. There was a time, it's like a pyramid, bro. It's going up and down. So it's not that I'm going down like it's like time of retirement or whatever, but I think there is a point in time for everyone, you know, when the point comes when you think you need to take a U-turn. I mean, it's mental as well, it's physical as well. And yeah, as far as support is concerned, like I had so many friends coming in here trying to visit me. I mean, F&B in Hong Kong, it's small, but it's very, very, you know, it's got a big impact. And it's such a small industry, I mean, the space itself, everyone knows each other. And it's somewhere or the other. So there's always this saying, hey, Vishal's working there, or this guy's over there. let's go meet him, let's go meet them. So this is always a bond between especially in this company. I mean, this industry, there's a bond. It's all about supporting each other. Someone wins an award, like, well done, bro. We're gonna go there for a shot, something like that. So it's at the end of the day, it's all about the support. Yeah, and it's been great, bro. It's been really nice. And even for the company itself over here, I mean, I've worked with some best people in the past, and I'm still working with some good people over here.
Okay.
And for me, at the end, bro, it was my decision, so I'm happy with that. At the end of the day, if you're happy, so everything like falls in, you know.
So the lesson to that question is, actually, here was the most unique answer to a lot. Pick by your own. Don't let people dictate your choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's you, no? It matters, because if you are you, there's so many people connected to you. So if you're right, you can make things right, or even try to make it right.
Okay. And last question is, anything else you're looking forward to in the future? Maybe, I don't know, opening your own place?
Yeah.
Whatever, no, life's still long. You're not gonna have time.
Few things are working along the line, and yeah, there are a lot of things that I'm still looking forward to do, but given the fact that this pandemic has hit us really hard, and even I'm trying to do a lot of projects back home, but those are still on standby because, you know, this COVID has taken a toll on the entire, it's a global pandemic, so for now, everything is on hold. I was like, give or take 80% was done or whatever. I was about to, you know, like start up one thing, everything, but I just want to give some time. Some way or the other, I hope this pandemic will come to an end, which for sure it will, because everything will come to an end. So I'm sure this will come to an end as well. So hopefully once it's done, well, especially if it starts, I'll let you know. You will be the first person.
But will it be in Nepal or?
I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm thinking like high standard concept.
It's a surprise, bro. So yeah, I'm still working on it, but the thing is like, this pandemic has taken a toll, so for now.
It's okay, it gives you time to actually reflect more on the concept, right?
Actually, you know, if it's like a, you know, like I said, there's no saturation point to anything, especially when you're learning. Let's take COVID as a lesson as well, no? Let's take it as a lesson. So we are fighting it. We are winning it. We will win it. We will overcome it. Nothing is forever.
Yeah. So first step is taking the 2 jabs.
Yeah, I did one, bro, already.
I did one too, so. All right, cool. We
Yeah,
don't
get
know
your
what will
jabs.
happen. I might turn into Hulk.
Eventually. No, you have to
Dragon
take a jab.
Ball. He might be Super Saiyan 3. We don't know. But anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. That was a good talk, good insights. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Vishal. You want to see him at this moment in time? Terrible Baby, 4th floor, right?
4th floor, bro.
Eaton Hotel, 𝙊𝙤𝙣𝙖, in the depths in the middle of 𝙊𝙤𝙖 and Jordan. You'll find it. Just use Google Maps. Life is easier now. It's not like 1980s. So, kinetic outcome.
Thanks, Hector.